6.5 on Sunday at the Link. 44.5 is the total. Barkley, they played earlier this year. The Eagles beat them out in L.A. Barkley went off. He had 255, 47 receiving yards, 2 tutties. That was a huge game. I don't think you'll have a game like that this week. I don't think you'll have that game.
Yeah, I doubt it, but I'll tell you what, it's a very dangerous bet, I think. I think it's more likely that Philly wins that game and goes to play the Lions in the NFC title game than it is the Rams covering 6.5. I think it's more likely that the Eagles win that game by 7 or more, but I want the Rams to win. I'm not going to sit here and deny that I want them to win.
Here is DeMeco Ryans, head coach of Houston. That loss to the Chiefs a few weeks ago, yeah, don't worry about that. We're not even that don't matter. It is a new week.
Different game. Yeah, I don't take much from it. It was a game that was that week. It's different circumstances that happened in that particular week. Now it's a new game for me. Fresh start, new game, right? We'll attack it just like it's our first time playing these guys again. So we'll go in with a fresh set of eyes and see the things we need to do to be better, the things we need to do to close out the game. And that's how I always go into each game with a fresh set of eyes, not really harping on a lot of what happened in the previous game.
I mean, honest Christ, there is no way that they're beating the Chiefs. And the Chiefs' first playoff game in the divisional, all they got to do is win 2 games. They're back in the Super Bowl.
Yep.
That's it. That's how they look at it. They think you're fresh meat. They are going to beat the snot out of them. Fresh meat.
Yeah, that whole, it's like a new week and fresh eyes. Like that might work with someone else, not with this team. Not with this team and what they do. And remember, that was also the game where, Mahomes wasn't supposed to play. He was hurt that week, and he ended up running all over the place and beating him. So, how I feel. I'm not going against the Chiefs. I know that they never cover in the regular season. They never do anything. 8.5's healthy. It's a big number, but I'm not sure that I want to go after that with Houston. 41.5's the total. A couple other things here. Clay Martin is the ref for this game. Your boy Clay, when he calls Chiefs games,
he loves the Chiefs.
He loves the Chiefs. The Chiefs are 6-0 when Clay Martin is the ref. And one other note for this one, Diontae Johnson, who joined the Texans a few weeks ago, they sent him home today. There were some reports that, of course, don't come out until really after he gets released. That after the win on Saturday, guys are celebrating in the locker room. Everybody's pumped up. They just beat the Chargers. And Johnson apparently was visibly upset in the locker room. Guys were trying to calm him down because he didn't get any gas, didn't have any juice, 1 catch or something like that. So he gone. See you later.
He needs to go play in the United Football League.
Yeah, if you just want to be the guy who gets every ball thrown his way, I'm sure somebody will take him and do that. I don't even know which teams are in that league anymore, but I'm sure they can find someone.
I think he's going to get blackballed in the NFL. 4 teams in 1 year.
4 teams in 1 year. Someone put a stat out since, this season alone. He's 3 teams this season. He's on 4 teams in a calendar year, but 3 teams this season. He has 4 catches this year, or 4 catches since week 10. And he's been on 3 teams since week 10. He's got 3 teams and 4 catches in the last 8, 9 weeks.
I matter more than him, honestly, in the NFL. And I don't matter at all.
You're not going to try the 8.5 with Houston on Saturday, are you? Are you going to try to? No. No.
I think they're going to lose by 20.
20? Alted up. 3 almost 3 tutty win for the Chiefs. Are all these games going to suck? Is that what you're telling me? All these games are going to be bad?
Do you think that their Super Bowl run, their dynasty, is going to end at the hands of the Houston Texans at Arrowhead Stadium?
No. I don't think they're going to lose the game, but we're not going to – they haven't played a real game in like a month.
I mean,
like,
the only one that has a chance at them is the winner of the Baltimore-Buffalo game. That's it. That's the end of this talk.
Well, I'll tell you, I think the winner of the Baltimore-Buffalo game is going to get them this year. So that's just my feeling.
I mean, we saw that last year. Didn't Baltimore at home couldn't handle it?
As I said to you yesterday, and I said this to Gabe yesterday, I'm not talking about next week, this week. I'm not doing it. I got one focus this week, and that's all that I'm going to be talking about. We'll get to that.
Your hands.
Oh, I got a big problem coming up on Sunday. I don't want to even discuss beyond Sunday when it comes to the Buffalo Bills this week. All right, Saturday night.
The question I asked Gabe: are you going to sit here and tell me that you don't get mad that they lose every year?
Well, I think that, and I heard what Gabe's response was to you, so I'll say it to you like this. Him saying it's more a sadness than it is being angry, like, it is kind of slant more that way, just because I'll tell you personally, being a fan of this team I've been a fan of this team since I was 10 years old. So we're talking 34 years I've rooted for the Bills. They've beaten me down to the point where I don't care how they lose any game anymore. There's no way that they could get me like mad, angry. Like, I've done all that. Like, now it's just sadness and kicking me in the stomach. Like, that's all that it is now when they lose a big game. Like that 13-second game, that was anger. You know, there's other games in the past I was angry. They just can't do that to me anymore. Will I be upset? I'll be upset. But I think it leans more to just sadness, like unbelievable again, than it is like anger. I don't think I get like that anymore when they lose. They've beaten me down. I just have. There's nothing more I can do.
Yeah, well, I still come from the side of the river that says losing sucks. And when you lose in the playoffs, it sucks. And it makes me mad.
I've never seen them win at all. Ever. No Bill fan has. They've never seen them win at all. And I think when you've been beaten down and smashed, whether it's me for 30 years, older fans for 50, or newer fans for 10 or 15, when you've never seen the team win, I don't think you don't know that feeling. Like, you've experienced them win. You want that again. It's angry when you don't have it. A Giant fan, a Niner fan, a Patriot fan, like, they know what it's like to win, and they get angry when they don't. I don't know what it's like to win.
Let me tell you another thing about it. Since the Steelers and Penguins have won all their titles, and then they haven't succeeded since, you never stop pulling out those guns of the 11 championships. You'll never stop pulling out guns when you have 6 Super Bowl trophies in your foyer and 5 Stanley Cups. You will use that until you're in a casket.
Detroit coming off of their bye as the 1 seed in the NFC. They will get the upstart Commanders. Big win in Tampa last Sunday. Little magic carpet ride for rookie quarterback Jayden Daniels and the crew. Here is Dan Campbell on having to deal with Daniels on Saturday night.
He is dangerous. He's dangerous. He poses a major threat. He does not play the position like a rookie quarterback. He's composed. He understands how to progress. He sees the field well. He can buy time with his legs. He's a dangerous runner. He's smart. You can tell he understands how to run that offense, what they're asking him to do. And then he's got weapons. He's got weapons around him. I mean, his receiver's pretty dang good. 17's a hell of a player, you know. He's got a good back. He's got more than one receiver. Ertz at tight end. I mean, they've got weapons. The O-line plays hard. But he's a difference maker.
Listen, I'll say this much for him. Without a doubt, he's a badass. And I think he's got an edge that he's played in this game against Tampa on Sunday night, and that he's going to play again against Detroit right off of that. I think there's a somewhat of an advantage for the Chiefs and Lions having to be given that extra time to get healthy. But I think there's a disadvantage in not playing. I don't buy. Look at the college football playoff. All those teams with buys lost. They all lost. They didn't play that first game, and then they got beat. And all I know is that I think the Lions are at that small disadvantage. I think Jaden Daniels has an edge that he's already played in a huge game and succeeded triumphantly, and now gets to go play the best team in, the NFC for sure, and maybe the best team in the NFL. Now, people would argue that because the Chiefs went 15-2, but the Chiefs won every game by like one score. It's like they didn't care about anything else. Just get us the dub and get us out of here. The Lions actually kick people's asses. The Chiefs don't kick anyone's ass. So some people would say the Lions are the best team in the NFL, but I'm not that stupid. I mean, when you're a dynasty and all you do is win Super Bowls, that's all that matters. Like the Lions, they talk big, but they don't win anything. Like they were up 24 points in the NFC title game. They lost. I mean, they're the biggest chokers I've seen, the Falcons and them, that I've ever seen in my life. I mean, you're up 24 in a title game and you lose. You're a piker, okay? I don't care what anybody says. Your head coach blew it with all of his crappy decisions. Now, I got all my friends in Detroit saying they're going to the Super Bowl. And I said, yeah, I'll probably see them down in New Orleans when SportsGrid's there setting the standard as usual at Media Row. But I think that they're at a disadvantage a little bit this week that Jaden Daniels is coming in there piping hot.
He is. And look, this is a big spot for Daniels. Look, take a look around. I mean, there's 8 teams left. Look at these other quarterbacks that are left. Goff, Hurts, Stafford, Allen, Mahomes, Lamar Jackson. Like, this is a big stage for a rookie quarterback that he's going to be on Saturday night. I hope it's a fun game because we haven't had many of them here in the playoffs so far. And I do think you're right. There could be a little initial out of the gate. And that's what I was kind of trying to say before with the Chiefs. Like, they're just going to show up after not playing for a month and blow this team out? Maybe. But I think the same with the Lions. I think it's going to take a little while to get some footing, especially after Washington just played so well on Sunday night against Tampa. This is 9.5 right now on a Tuesday. 9 and a hook and 55.5. I mean, that is a big total for a playoff game, considering 5 of the 6 playoff games have been under so far.
Yeah, I'm not going over, and I also think it's too many points for Jaden. You can't give Jaden Daniels 9.5 points. I bet they score first.
Yeah, could see that. Now, people, of course, in the Detroit area, Scotty, they're very excited. And this kind of ties in every team. We'll talk about the NBA later. The Pistons beat the Knicks last night. They've been playing some great basketball. But the Lions, Pistons, Red Wings, Michigan, and Michigan State men's basketball, all those teams combined have won 31 of their last 32 games. What?
What is happening here?
That is Detroit sports on the up right now with the way everybody's playing.
Thank God, because they have nothing else.
They have nothing. And tie this in, too. Like, the Tigers made the playoffs this year in baseball and went really far. So, you could factor that in as well. Saturday, Pistons, Suns, Wings, Lightning, Lions against Washington, all on Saturday there in Detroit. And, of course, that means there's some big bets coming in on the Lions as well. How about 20 stacks, 20K on the Lions? The bet would win $240,000 for that. So there is a lot. That was probably way back when the Lions were 12-1. That was earlier in the year. But still, that is a heavy load. There's a lot of big Lion bets, Scotty. Everybody expects the Lions. They're going to be there. Never been to a Super Bowl before. They'll be there this year. Everybody says they're going to win it.
Okay,
we shall see.
Listen, I would love nothing more than to see the Lions win the Super Bowl and that all the sports book go bankrupt.
This is, without question, the main event of the weekend. You've got Allen and Lamar. You've got the 2 favorites for the MVP. You've got the 2 teams that have been trying to get over the hump and beat the Chiefs and finally get to a Super Bowl in the AFC. So there is a lot on the line here in Orchard Park on Sunday. Here is John Harbaugh. Ravens, of course, can't wait to get up to the Belo and get it going.
It's a divisional game. I mean, these divisional games are really hard to win. If you look back over the years. I mean, because you're playing the best teams. I mean, there's the 4 best teams in the AFC, the 4 best teams in the NFC are still alive, and to get to the Super Bowl, if you want to take a step out, you've got to win 2 games now. Whoever gets the Super Bowl's got to win 2 games against the best in their conference. That's tough, really tough. And so to be a part of that, just in that sense, is really amazing. And then you get a chance to play a team like the Bills, who've been perennially in that group, just super talented, well-coached type of a team, on that stage, in their place. It's going to be cold, it's going to be blustery, all that. I can picture John Facenda coming down, from the heavens and narrating the preview to the game. So it's great. Yeah, we're excited about it.
He knows how to win. He's won it all. But I'll say this. You've had this conversation with me before. I remember everything. And you have said on a number of occasions you're sick and tired of Sean McDermott. And if he doesn't get it done, it's time to chop him. Meanwhile, he's a spitting image of Mike Tomlin. All he does is win, and then he loses. He loses when it matters. He wins when it doesn't matter. And I have to hear it right out of your mouth. Are you sick and tired of it?
Well, yeah. I mean, look, he's got to eventually get to a Super Bowl. I mean, it's different from Tomlin in the last 5 years in terms of McDermott at least wins a game or 2 before he loses in the playoffs. He's not going out and losing in the first game every year. He's gotten to this point. I believe it's 4 years in a row now, at least, to the divisional round, the final 8. He gets there. But you gotta eventually get past it. And he's got this team in his building. He's lost this game in his building. He lost to Burrow and the Bengals 2 years ago in this game. He beat the Ravens the year before that in this game here. For me, it's Henry, Scotty. I'm going to say it to you all week long. I am not, and I'm not saying this like I'm not worried about Lamar. Lamar is extremely dangerous. He's with Allen in this MVP thing for a reason. Henry is the key for the Bills. The Bills have to stop Derrick Henry. They never do, and that is their key to victory on Sunday. They've got a bunch of guys who didn't play in that game earlier in the year. Remember, too, the Ravens were 0-2 going into that game, that Sunday night Week 3 game, and they needed it more than anything to get a win on the board, and they smashed the Bills in that game. This will be a different game on Sunday, but it's Henry, Scotty, that they have to key in on stop.
Well, I mean, I think you're right, and I also think you said it. They never stop him, so why would they stop him now? They've never stopped him. And I hate to look, I hate the Ravens. I have no ill will toward the Bills. I really don't. If the Steelers played them in the playoffs like last year, whatever, I don't like them. But other than that, I don't have a problem with them because they've never done it. I told you 1,000 times. I was around and watching them with Marv Levy be the best team in the AFC year after year after year after year after year after year, and they never got it done. So I'm used to them failing, and they don't bother me. The Ravens actually bother me. I hate them. I used to see our friend Ariel at the Super Bowl. I'd tell her, F the Ravens. Every time I see her, I say, how you doing? F the Ravens. Same thing with my buddy's son, Ty, goes to Florida. Happy birthday, Ty. Screw FSU. I don't like the Ravens. So I want the Bills to win, but I'm not sure they're gonna.
Yeah, look, I'm not sure they're gonna either. I obviously want them to win, and if they're not gonna stop Derrick Henry, then Josh Allen needs to have the kind of game he did against the Lions and win 48-45, or against the Rams where he just came short, or the 13-second game. He's going to have to play as good.
What happened to the Ravens? What happened to the Ravens' great defense, or their awful defense all year? Now suddenly they got a defense.
Well, we shall see. They're playing a different quarterback this week than they've played the last few weeks. Nothing against Russell Wilson and some of these other guys. This is Josh Allen. They're playing that this week.
You're facing Lamar Jackson right there.